Hello everyone, so far who's joined. I think we've got 7 people at the moment, brilliant. Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of our sports science support series. The purpose of these videos is to give you guys at home a bit of education and insight into ways that you can help yourself through what is, for all of us, a really challenging time. I know that I'm finding it difficult as a swimmer going through it as well, but also as someone who, well, as you can see, I'm usually on poolside, but I'm now coming to you from my desk at home. So for those of you who haven't met me before, my name is Ellen Scholes and I'm one of the sports science interns working with Guildford City this year. I'm on my placement year from the University of Surrey. Not going as I had planned originally, but we're making it work. So I'm just going to quickly run through how these kind of videos are going to work. So every Monday it will be me at 6 o'clock. Every Wednesday it'll be Kate at 6 o'clock, just giving you information. So my first episode tonight is called Coping Through Coronavirus, and we're going to run through a quick presentation that I made on the topic, and feel free to post any questions in the comments section, and hopefully at the end, if they come through, I'll go through them, and if not, I will address them in the next video. So the presentation, then Q&A session. Feel free to comment any questions you have. If they're not answered within the presentation, I'll go through them, but hopefully that is all we need to get started. So I'll go on to my presentation quickly. So tonight I just wanted to talk through some coping mechanisms for the situation that we find ourselves in at the moment. Obviously it's like nothing any of us have ever been through before, and is certainly really quite challenging for a lot of people, including myself, and we're all having to adapt in a way that we've never had to do before. So we can safely say that 2020 has not quite lived up to our expectations. There will be a lot of emotions that you may feel, have felt, or will feel over the next few weeks or months. An issue some people have with this is not knowing what emotion it is they are feeling, and therefore not knowing how to address this. How would they go about helping themselves feel differently? So hopefully the information I can give you through this presentation and our other presentations can really help you get to know what it is you're feeling and how to deal with this. So some emotions that you might be feeling through this time. We've got worried, bored, demotivated, frustrated, isolated, and stressed. It is okay to feel all of these things. It is okay to have felt all of those things. They are all normal emotions that people would feel normally, but they might just be a little bit more intense or emphasised during this time because of how everything is going and what's going on. But just do not get annoyed or upset at the fact that you're feeling these things, because they are all normal and we will all feel all of them at some point. So the first one I'm going to cover is probably a really big one that is really hitting a lot of you quite hard at the moment. It's probably the biggest of all of them, and it is demotivated. So demotivation is a really overpowering, strong emotion that can feel somewhat, overpowering for an athlete at times of injury, illness, forced rest. So firstly, I just want to run you through some of the reasons why you might actually be feeling this way. So you may feel like what you are training for now is a long way off. Competitions have either been cancelled, pushed back. You may feel like what you want to achieve now, you can't achieve that for quite a long time. That's how it might feel. So your coach and your teammates aren't around to push you all the time. We are in a really, really team-oriented sport. People think, yeah, you swim for yourself as an individual, but it is much more of a team sport than people think. And you see your coach and your teammates twice a day, sometimes more than that. And not having that taken away can be really difficult to deal with. The goals that you set at the start of the season will have to change. We've got to adapt those. We've got to learn to be able to take something and just change it. You keep hearing news of competition cancellations and postponements. I know last week was quite tough for a lot of you guys, finding out that both English and British nationals had been cancelled, which was a big shame. But again, it can really make you feel down, demotivated, news like that. So you might not be getting as much of the physical challenge as you're used to. We all know that swimming is a very difficult sport, physically, mentally. Swimming sets are hard. They are really tough. And having to now adapt to doing this physical activity that is different and having to motivate yourself to do it can be hard. So, how can I help myself feel motivated, and how can I help myself feel differently about my demotivation or however I'm feeling? Find out what it is that motivates you to swim. If someone came up to you and said, why do you swim? What do you want to achieve at the end of your career? What would you say? Once you have this answered, you can set new goals with this bigger picture in mind. You can set land work goals, mobility goals, skill goals, general life goals to focus on during this time. You can still have as many goals as you want. Jordan's challenges are a really great way to set goals. So MPS squad have been setting goals within their running. Some of them are trying to run half marathons, cycling. They've got a weekly leaderboard that they do all of Jordan's challenges and they earn points. And it's a really great way that they can all do it together and feel motivated together. Your brain is a muscle, okay? So you have to train it for it to be able to work optimally. Pencil time into your routines, practice some race visualization and imagery. We're going to cover this in future talks, so if you're someone who isn't sure on what that means or not sure on how to do it, I really recommend tuning into those talks because they'll be really helpful for you. Review old race footage and identify some strengths and weaknesses. So this is a really good one. If you're feeling like a bit lost of what to do, have a look at yourself swimming. The weaknesses that you want to improve, what does the foundation of the skills stem from? Is it to do with your mobility? Is it to do with your athleticism, your psychology? Once you identify what it is you want to improve, you can then work on it. Team up with your teammates, okay? You're all in this together. You're all going to be feeling the same way. Create small competitions and help each other to exercise and improve. If you're watching this, you're probably a pretty competitive person. Many athletes get enjoyment out of being competitive, so get your friends doing the same thing so you're all motivated together, because it's going to be a lot easier if you all do it together. Okay, so the next big one, boredom. So why might I be feeling like this? You as athletes by nature lead extremely busy lives. You have gone from having every minute of your day scheduled from the minute you wake up to potentially all the way through to you go to sleep. And now you might just have no schedule at all, and that can just throw you. It can be really mentally difficult. Some of you may be doing online classes, homeschooling. It can be difficult to focus without your peers or your class environment around you. It's so easy to just get up and walk out of a room when you're at home, a lot easier than it is at school. Those of you who are working, maybe working from home, or might even have no work at all at the moment. And swimming is a huge part of your lives, and not being able to do it can be difficult to handle, particularly when it is something that provides you so much enjoyment. You wouldn't go and train 5, 6, 7 times a week if you didn't enjoy it. It's something that gives you your purpose. So, how can I help myself to feel more stimulated and to get rid of this boredom? So, get to know yourself. We have a really, really unique opportunity at the moment to spend time to get to know who you really are. A lot of you might not know what life is like without swimming. So spend some time to discover new things that you enjoy, and you could learn a lot about yourself. Set yourself targets. So as well as having a daily routine, which we will go through in another talk as well, is how to set up a swimming free routine. But start with setting yourself targets. So when you wake up, pick 2 or 3 things you're going to do that day that's going to make you feel good about your day and you're going to get done, so that when it comes to the evening and you're starting to wind down and relax, you can think, I've really earned this rest today. Apply yourself to something new. So this is something that I've been trying to do a lot. So cooking, drawing, dancing, singing, music, Rubik's Cube. It could be literally anything. Find something you enjoy and run with it. How good can you get? So, key skills that you can work on. Mobility, flexibility. If this is something that you know you need to work on, get ahead of the game. You don't know how good it could make you to improve these skills. Get ahead of the competition. Do what you do to make yourself a better swimmer. Stay in touch with your friends. So a lot of people have been playing pub quiz, board games through apps like FaceTime, Zoom. They're really good to stay in touch with friends. Complete Jordan's Daily Challenge. Really, really good one. They are challenging. They're challenging for a reason, but they really, really will help you feel stimulated and ready to go with your day. Worried. Now, this is a big one because naturally, this is a very worrying time for everyone. It's beyond anything we've experienced before. So, why is it I might be feeling worried? So, you may be unsure of what is going to happen with your schooling, daily exams, university degree. I've had a lot of my friends come in touch with me and we've been talking about it, and a lot of them just don't know what's going to happen, which can be really worrying when you've worked so hard for something and invested so hard for something. Media and social media exposure is focusing on the pandemic. Now, I think we've all realised that pretty much all news channels are 24/7 rolling news at the moment on coronavirus, so it's pretty hard to get away from it. There is no clear end point. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about when things will change, when lockdowns will change, when things will get back to normal, but at the end of the day, we just don't know when it's going to happen. You may know someone who is vulnerable or a key worker and are worried for their safety. You may be worried about your swimming or your fitness. Conversations at home or with friends may revolve around the topic of coronavirus. So, how can I help myself to feel nice and calm? So, a good thing that you can do on social media these days is to mute certain topics or phrases. So I know on Twitter you can mute certain topics, so limit your viewing of the news or media about coronavirus. If you take that away, I'm not saying you'll start to forget, but it will start to be a less intense bombardment of coronavirus, because I think at the moment a lot of people are struggling with just how much information, be it fake news, real news, is coming through. Write your worries down on a piece of paper and then throw it away. So this is something I used to do. I used to write my worries down in a book, and at the end of the week I'd review, rip the paper out and chuck it away, and it made me just feel like I'd lifted a lot of things off my shoulders, like I'd got it out. Be reassured that everyone is in the same position and everyone's going to be dealing with their own worries. Perhaps set a household rule of only one coronavirus-based conversation per day. This is something that's really helped me in my home. We make sure that we don't talk about it too much. We only talk about it if it's worrying us or if it's desperate news. And just take yourself away to do something that makes you feel calm and relaxed. Go and read a book, go and have a bubble bath, listen to music, something that just takes your mind off whatever is worrying you. So, frustrated and stressed. I've grouped these two together just because they can make you feel a similar way, and the way you deal with them can be quite similar. So, why might I be feeling like this? All competitions that you've been working really hard towards have been cancelled or postponed. Holidays, birthdays, large events you were looking forward to have been cancelled. It may have been your first time qualifying for a certain level of competition, so champs, nationals, regionals, so on, and now you're just not able to swim in it, which can be disappointing. Some of you are having to adapt to living back in a family environment. So if you've come home from university, it can be tense and stressful at times because we're just not used to being around each other 24/7, which is what we're having to do a lot of the time. So how can I help myself to feel relaxed and in control? So one of the best things we can do in this situation is actually look to people to relate to. So all athletes have to accept that at the moment health comes first, but all athletes are also in the same position of you. Some of them have had their Olympics taken away and now have to sacrifice an extra year of their life, which some of them might not have been planning to do. I know a lot of them have put up support videos. Adam Peaty's put one up, Anna Hopkins put one up, just to help you feel reassured that they are going through a similar thing and giving tips on how they're dealing with it. So if you can check those out, check them out, because you might get some good advice. Take one day at a time. So don't focus on what isn't happening anymore. Focus on what you can make happen now. What can you do today that's going to help you be a better person or a better swimmer, better friend, better brother, better sister? What can you do today? Allocate some specific time for some self-care. So no matter what it is. So like I said before, bubble bath, face mask, gaming on the Xbox with friends, going for a walk, just anything that makes you feel calm, relaxed. You've probably heard this from your coaches before. Focus on what you can control. Control the controllables. Unfortunately, at the moment, we can't control how long any of this is going to go on for. We can't control the government's decisions. We have no control on this whole situation. So let's focus our energy elsewhere. What else can you focus your energy on that's going to be positive and productive? Another big one at the moment, isolated. So why might I be feeling like this? As you all know, we are unable to see some of our friends and some members of our family, grandparents, brothers, sisters, best friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, aunts, uncles, cousins. This can be hard to deal with, really, really hard, because we're so used to just being able to walk out of a door and go and see whoever we want. There's only so much satisfaction we gain from connecting through social media. So social media, there's lots of scientific information about how it triggers certain points in our brain, but it only happens for a very short amount of time. And it's not a long-lasting connection that we're used to. You might be feeling trapped. Staying in the same place, the same environment for a long time can cause anyone to start feeling down. It does feel like you're trapped. And we are by nature very, very social beings. And we crave social interaction and engagement from the people around us. And a lot of the time, we want this to be face-to-face. So how can I help myself feel supported? So get outside as much as you safely can. Going for walks, runs, spending time in the garden. We've been really lucky the past few days with the weather, so fingers crossed that carries on. But it's actually been really nice just to get outside because The sunlight will help to provide us with vitamin D. Now, I think this will be covered a lot in our nutrition presentations, but it's really, really an essential vitamin, especially when we're trapped in lockdown. Getting outside is really important. Fresh air and the quiet will help to relieve stresses and worries. I've been on a few walks in the woods, and I must say it's so peaceful. Check in on your friends and your relatives. So, chances are you're not going to be the only one feeling isolated, so give your friends a call for a catch up. Call a relative, call your grandma, grandpa. Check in on those who might be struggling. They might not feel like they want to reach out to you, so reach out to them. Who can you help? Who can you help feel like supported? That will help not only them, but also you. Come up with interesting ways to hang with friends. So, like I said before, quiz nights, bingo nights, board games, anything. Talk to the people around you. So, we have the chance now to really get to know the people around us, so members of our family. Ask them if they are okay and tell them if you're not feeling okay. It's, like I said so many times already, we are all in this together. If you don't communicate, no one can help you, so just get those feelings out. Be creative with your communication. How many people can you make laugh or smile today? How many jokes can you get through? So, a lot of you might be thinking, how can I actually practically apply this to my day? So, this is an example of something called a coping calendar. It's been put together by a company called Action for Happiness, and it includes one daily activity that will help you to cope or make you happy or even make someone else happy. So I'm actually going to be sending round a blank template that can be used to make your own coping calendar at home, using some of the activities we've spoken about today, or creating some of your own. So the activities can be as simple as listening to your favourite song, asking someone if they need any help with something, helping to cook dinner, learning something new, reaching out to a friend. It can be anything. Just note it down, and that'll be one thing that you're definitely going to get done that day. So like I said, I'll be sending out a blank copy so you can make your own coping calendar. Feel free to print that one off. I think if you go to their website, they'll have a copy for you to print. But yeah, a coping calendar is definitely something that is useful. So, I'm just going to finish with a slide with some small ideas of how you can implement some coping into your day. So, daily task list. Start off nice and easy to get going, then start to challenge yourself towards the end of the day. So, you can use the coping calendar to do this, or create your own daily challenges. Just get into a habit of making a list of tasks that you know you're going to get done today, to give yourself purpose, to give the day purpose. Exercise each day. So, schedule exercise or tune into Jordan's gym. In the mornings, research shows that movement before studying is beneficial to attention span. So, Jordan's got his land training sessions in the morning, so get those done, then you're ready for your day. You can already feel like you've had a good day by doing those. Help around the house. Parents are probably sitting there clapping their hands that I've mentioned this one, but there will always be jobs that need doing around the house. Help out with these a bit more now that you have the time. You could even learn how to do some of them yourself. Cooking, ironing, washing up, anything. Rest and relax. So make sure you make time for yourself to actually rest and relax. So gaming, like I said, gaming, reading, talking to friends. But also a lot of you are so used to getting up really early in the morning to go and train. You'll get up at 5, 6 a.m. to go and spend 2 hours training. Make the most of the opportunity now to sleep better. You can have an extra 2 hours lie-in the morning before you tune into Jordan, or getting to bed earlier. Some of you won't get back from swimming normally till about 9:30, 10 at night. You can now be in bed at that time, ready to go to sleep. stretch. So the best way to improve flexibility is to work at applying force at a new range of motion. So using P&F squeezes, strength-based movements that Jordan has showed you. I'm sure he wouldn't mind showing you again if he needed it, but stuff like that is really, really going to be beneficial to you progressing skills like flexibility. And the last thing, stay positive. If we stay positive, it's going to make this situation a lot easier. It's so easy to find the negatives these days because of the news, the media, what is being said, but we need to focus on the positive things in our day so that we can work the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day until it's all over. So just stay positive. Okay, so that concludes the presentation part. At the moment, I don't think had any questions in currently, but if you do have any questions and you don't want to put them in the comments section, please email me at gcscquestions@gmail.com. I think the email address was put on the form that went out. I really hope that was helpful for some of you. I think a lot of the stuff you might have seen before, but hopefully being able to apply it into the swimming setting gave you a little bit more feel of relief that people understand what you're going through and you're not the only one going through it. So I'm really hopeful that that was helpful. So my next topic next Monday at 6 p.m. is going to be on maintaining motivation through coronavirus. So I'm going to focus a little bit more on that emotion and give you a little bit more information on that emotion. So this was just a quick starter on how you can start to get yourselves moving and doing things that are positive so that when you then get the next bit of information, you can start building and building and building. So please tune in to Kate on Wednesday at 6 p.m. for her healthy eating presentation. And like I said, any questions, send them into the email. I'm really happy you all joined and hopefully see you next week. Thank you.